I'd like to welcome everyone to BeeCon 2024. This year, we have an amazing group of speakers and a large group of attendees from all around the globe. We have individuals from 37 countries tuning in throughout BeeCon. So, of course, for some of us, it's early in the morning, like for us here in Toronto, but for others, it's late at night, middle of the afternoon, any time of day. So BeeCon is hosted by the Center for Bee Ecology, Evolution, and Conservation at York University. This year, as you know, we are continuing to be a hybrid event, with today being the virtual day and tomorrow being both in person at York University and virtually streamed over Zoom. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thank you to our funders, the Faculty of Environmental and Urban Change at York University, as well as the Vice President of Research and Innovation, also at York University. Without their generous contributions, BeeCon would not be possible in its current format. So I wanted to start the day off with a land acknowledgement. We recognize that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships with the territories upon which York University campuses are located that precede the establishment of York University. York University acknowledges its presence on the traditional territories of many Indigenous nations. The area known as Takaranto has been caretaken by the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Huron-Wendat, and the Métis. It is now home to many Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and this territory is subject of the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. In the program, we have included the land acknowledgement and a link to a video that gives more background to this land acknowledgement, including a brief history of the territory, the treaty involved, and suggestions on how to listen and reflect upon the land acknowledgement. If you'd like to know more about the history of land that you come from, or where you're joining us from today, where you do your research, where you collect your samples, this website, native-land.ca, is a fantastic resource for exploration. It was initially a Canadian initiative, but has now gained worldwide coverage. So a little bit more about BC. As I mentioned before, we are the Center for Bee Ecology, Evolution, and Conservation at York University. We're an organized research unit, and you can visit us to learn more on our website at yorku.ca/bees, or contact me at vc@yorku.ca for more information. So very briefly, we are an initiative that strives to advance research in the fields of bee ecology, evolution, and conservation, which I'm sure you could guess from our name. And the overall mission of BC is to foster interdisciplinary, innovative, collaborative, and cutting-edge research. This research is used for the advancement of knowledge and the implementation of policy changes to help sustain pollinators globally. Overall, our goal is to apply our collaborative efforts to the development of policies and environmental management for the long-term sustainability of bees and the vital ecosystem service they provide. So now that I've said all of that, what are some things that BC actually does? So some examples of our programming include our BC Speaker Series, which is an international webinar series that is open to a global audience. If you'd like to register for the series, please visit our website. You'll be able to register for our next 2 talks, as well as pre-register for our winter series. Our next talk will be on November 8th from Dr. Matthew Betty of Mount Allison University. We also have a YouTube channel that we ask you to subscribe to if you'd like. On this channel, we host past talks, including previous presentations from BeeCon last year, the year before, etc. The talks from our BC Speaker Series, as well as previous webinar series like the BBST series. We are also active on social media, including Twitter, where our handle is @BeesYork, and Instagram, where our handle is @BeesAtYork. We also have listservs. So we have a global listserv that anyone can join. If you send an email to listserv@yorku.ca with the following command in the body of the email, subscribe bees, and then your first name and your last name. We have this information also present in our program, so don't worry about writing this down exactly now. We also have an internal listserv for those who are associated with BC directly. And if you are a York University researcher or collaborator, we invite you to get involved with BC, and you can visit our website here, which is also listed in the program, and explore the benefits of becoming an associate and how to apply. We have an expansive membership, which includes master's students, doctoral candidates, postdocs, and faculty. And you can see a small sampling of our associates here as well. Many of them will be giving talks over the next couple of days. So about BeeCon itself. It initially started in 2011 as the Southern Ontario Bee Researchers Symposium, and it was hosted by York University bee researchers with support from others, including groups like Wildlife Preservation Canada, Pollinator Partnership, and others. It has grown from a small local symposium to an international one, and BC is now the formal host, supported administratively and financially by the VPRI, BC itself, Faculty of Environmental and Urban Change. In 2020, due to COVID, we went virtual, and we returned in 2022 as a hybrid event with approximately 415 attendees across 6 continents. And this year, we have a similar large number of attendees also spread across 6 continents. We still keep missing Antarctica every year. So if anyone is ever completing research there at the time when BeeCon is taking place, we definitely invite you to tune in. Thank you all very much for attending. So the logistics for today, as you can all tell, we are using a Zoom webinar platform, so only panelists will be able to turn their camera and microphones on. Please be sure to use the Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen to pose questions to speakers, and the moderators for each session will then pose those questions back to the speaker as time permits. Speakers may also be able to answer them throughout the day just by typing an answer into the Q&A box. We also ask you to use the chat box sparingly for comments in between talks in order to communicate with the panelists and the host, because it can be quite distracting for the speakers while they're giving their talk to have a bunch of messages pinging up. If you're having any trouble, please send a private message to me, the host, through the chat, or email bc@yorku.ca, which is also me. So all of the presentations today will be recorded, but not all will be shared. It depends on the permissions given by each individual speaker. And of course, for each talk, there is an abstract in the official program on our website. And the presentations that we have permission to share will be posted to our YouTube channel in about 2 weeks or so, or by the end of the month. We encourage you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you will get the notifications when we post a new video. We also encourage sharing on social media during BeeCon. However, we do ask that you follow the individual speakers' requests in terms of posting or not posting content. Some of the information shared today and tomorrow will be unpublished or preliminary results that the speaker may not want shared outside of this conference. So speakers will either have icons present on the first slide of their presentation, indicating whether they will allow or not allow sharing to social media, or they'll announce it verbally. So again, please respect the speaker's wishes. You will find the Twitter and Instagram handles for each speaker in the official program book where applicable. And if you'd like to connect to a speaker or follow up with them on some information, then we invite you to contact them. So we will also be sharing content on Instagram or Twitter throughout the day. And if you decide to share as well, please use the hashtag BeeCon as the official hashtag for the event. Finally, before we get started today, I'd like to give a big thank you to our volunteers and funders. Our volunteers are, of course, some of our graduate students here at York University who have generously offered their time to be moderators today, tomorrow, or to help with the in-person running of the event tomorrow. And of course, our funders, as I mentioned before, the Faculty of Environmental and Urban Change, the Office of the VPRI, and of course, BC itself. Thank you all very much. And now on to the presentations.